everyone, it's Hannah. Welcome back to the Corner of Craft podcast. My hair is slightly damp still as I have washed it this morning. I'm going to address this right at the beginning. I am doing this live on my phone, hi, and so I know that some people are going to have issues with hearing it and blah blah blah, and I'm not sure why, because I always am fine listening to it back, but maybe try a different device if you're listening on something or blah blah blah, for one of two reasons. Is it two reasons? The only reason. Um, I'm short on time today. It's been so hot this week that I've just procrastinated everything till the end of the week. So, to save me editing time, I thought I'd do this live. Yes, podcast notes will be written up and put on my website later on after I'm done. Should have done it before. Wasn't organised enough. Made myself a cup of tea. That's about as organised as we've got this morning. So good morning everyone. I hope that you're all well. It's a rather overcast, cloudy Nottingham here in the UK today, which is where I am coming at you from. My name is Hannah. I am the owner of the Corner of Craft. I make tiny hand beaded stitch markers. I'm pretty sure I'm only using one of the tiny beaded stitch markers. Oh, hi Anna, thanks for being a mod. I think I'm only using one of my stitch markers. Hey Big K. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm distracting everyone from work. Yeah, I've not done a very good job, but I also dye yarn in colours inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, because I love Dungeons and Dragons, under the label Chromatic Yarns. Yes, so I'm coming at you live today from Nottingham, as I've said multiple times. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Links can all be found in the description box below. Hi everyone, hello. Distraction from newsletter writing. Yeah, Helen, I can completely understand that one. If you're watching this on the playback, I'm going to try not to just, of course, we have low internet connection. Am I back? I think I'm back. I think I'm okay. I had connection issues, but I think I'm okay. Sweet. I dropped the Wi-Fi. So, I hope you've all been well. I have been well. It's been, as I've said, very hot here in the UK. I made the mistake of dyeing yarn at the beginning of the week to get the yarn club done. Perks is it dried very quickly. The downside is that I dyed yarn when it was far too hot to dye yarn. So I've been doing bead weaving for the rest of the week because it's all I can be asked to do. Mario and I went out for a restaurant. I actually went out for food for the first time since March. I went into the city centre for the first time since March. It wasn't that scary. It was all right. There was hand sanitizer on the door. You could only sit down if you had a booking. So they had all your info if they needed it. And they took your temperature as you walked in. What more could you ask? But yeah, it's made me feel a lot more comfortable with maybe going to places later on. Because here in the UK, or in England at least, I don't know about everywhere else, the government have a scheme to try and get the economy going again. So they're giving like half price meals on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, up to £10, not including alcoholic drinks. They've named it the very slightly questionable name of Eat Out to Help Out, which is like, did no one think of the other meaning of that phrase? I was talking to Becky about it because I thought she could do with a laugh. She said, why didn't they just say dine out to help out? I'm like, yes, of course, that makes so much more sense. Why wouldn't they just choose dine out to help out instead of eat out to help out? But anyway, enough about that. Shall we get on to some knitting and a bit of crochet? Because, you know, we've been having quite the Granny Square party at the moment. So let's start with actually a finished object. I finished some socks. I could put them on my other sock blocker, but I still have my Ellen sock on the sock blocker. I need to photograph my Ellen socks. So this gorgeous yarn is Winter Rainbow by the Yarn Badger. It's on her yak sock base, which is a blend of yak, silk and something. How many times have I talked about these socks and I still don't know what the base is? What is my life? Merino, 60% fall. Yes, I'm glad everyone's on the same page with me about the whole each out to help out, suit you. Yes, and because the yarn itself is like a shade of grey, like the base yarn colour, it means that the rainbow that she dyed over it, which was probably actually bright dyes, is more muted, which I quite like. Oh, I just buzzed in my ear. Hopefully I'm not going to talk about the sound because I can't do anything about it. I need to get an actual microphone and plug it into my phone. Yes, mini skein. It's cute how you have little slogans for everything. It is. It's to make it catchy and so people remember to eat out, to help out. Am I right? Yeah. So the mini is just a mini skein, or heels and toes is just a mini skein that I dyed up in a dark grey. I popped it in the pot and it soaked up excess dye and it came out a really nice colour for this. And that's my sturdy sock base, so the heel and toe is very hard wearing. I did an afterthought heel using Kirby Tube. I believe I link it in the show notes. If I haven't, I will. I mean, I haven't written the show notes yet, so no, they're not in the show notes right now, but they will be in the show notes. Yes. Oh, I forgot to talk about what tea I'm drinking. I'm thrown off because I'm live and people are talking back to me, which is fine. I love it, but it threw me off. Ew, what do I have stuck on the side of my cup? The tea I'm drinking today, out of my last mug of these, we only had 2, but Mario opened a cupboard door and a jar fell out. I don't know what the jar was resting so precariously on, and fell on one of my mugs and smashed it, so... He also smashed a glass. The jar was fine, you know, the thing that we don't actually care about, that was fine, but a glass smashed all over the kitchen floor. And then I got a tiny piece of glass stuck in my foot, which I thought I'd got out, and then 3 days later I actually managed to get it out because my foot still hurt, and I thought, well, surely I've still got something in my foot if my foot still hurts. It was pretty gross. This whole reconnecting thing is really getting on my nerves. Hopefully the quality's not too bad. So the tea I'm drinking today is obviously Bird and Blend because, hello, it's a podcast. They're the unofficial sponsors of the podcast. And it's chocolate digestives flavour because I love it and I haven't had it in ages. I went for 2 days this week without a tea. And then I had one yesterday and it was like the best thing ever. It was amazing. So if you want to get 20% off your tea and matcha from Bird and Blend, Hannah T-Bird 20, all the info's in the description box below. I made sure to type it all out for you. Hopefully all the links work and stuff. And it is an affiliate code, so they send a little bit back my way. Never failed. I had a similar thing with a teapot and jar. Jar survived and the teapot did not. Whatever they make these jars out of is obviously strong stuff. Yes. But yes, I knit these on 2.25mm needles, 64 stitches round, and then yes. I knit round 4 times before starting the decreases on my heel because I have a high arch, but in hindsight I think I should have knit round more because they're not the most comfortable, but they're very pretty. Maybe they just need a proper block instead of just sitting on a sock blocker without actually having got wet at all. So, moving swiftly on. I have still been working on my blanket because why wouldn't I have been working on my blanket? Come on. For those that don't know, Alison of Lofty Loops and I seem to have started a bit of a granny square party. Well, I started the party and then she hopped aboard the party bus. And so we're driving it straight to the Granny Square party, picking people up as we go. Hey, tell you what, not a bad analogy. I quite like that analogy. I'll take it. Hey, everyone. So the Granny Square blanket has grown only by 1 row, I won't lie. I'm running out of my undyed yarn that I'm joining them all together on. I've almost got through 1 full skein. But I don't have a ball winder that works right now, but I have added a row and obviously made some more squares, but I'm not going to show you every single square that I've made. Oh, I've also worked on my Cozy Memories blanket, and I don't have that up here with me. I added 4 squares onto my Cozy Memories blanket and mended a hole because there was a hole. Oh my goodness. So I posted on YouTube stories for the first time this week because I thought, what's this? I've had it for ages and I just haven't posted on it, so I thought I'd post on it. And then I wrote out this whole thing about my blanket having a hole. And then I realised I used the wrong type of hole. I used hole with a W instead of no W. And I looked back at it the next day and just kind of died inside. I hate spelling errors. I can't even say it's a typo because autocorrect doesn't seem to work on YouTube stories, which makes typing really awkward. But for those that don't know, I have been making a granny square. A blanket, sorry. I love this thing and I'm slightly obsessed with it. I have loved seeing all your posts on Instagram. If you use hashtag Granny Square Party, then I will be able to see it and share it. And I have a highlight that I've called Party Time on Instagram. It's called Party Time Dancing Lady GSP because Granny Square Party. And Granny Square Party itself was apparently too many letters for the highlight title. The highlightle? So yeah, I've added one more blanket. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows in, which is amazing. Ooh, Friday catch-ups in the future, because it's 7:30 p.m. in Australia. Amazing. I mean, you're not in the future for you, but you're in the future for me because it's only almost 10:30 in the morning here. Time zones. Yes, so I am crocheting this using a 3mm crochet hook and just my 4-ply scraps, along with some mini skeins that I've been sent, both for my Cozy Memories blanket and also just for this by Suzanne of Green Lambkin Yarn, and also mini skeins that I've been sent for my blanket before I started this, and also some 10-gram mini skeins from Castleview Yarns, like this gorgeous square here. That's one of hers, Castleview Yarns, and this is one of hers. Oh, that's one of mine. That's not one of hers. She's got one a similar colour. I think I've only got 2 in this row. Oh no, this dark red is also one of hers, that I bought at Yorkshire Yarn Fest and have gradually been adding them in. So I've got my next row picked out. I just need to hand wind up my skein of undyed for it. And yeah, I really enjoyed working on this, especially when the weather was so hot. I don't know why I always whip out the Cozy Memories blanket when the weather gets hot, because you have to essentially wear the blanket in order to work on it. Whereas with the Granny Square blanket, you don't actually have to wear the blanket in order to work on it, which is actually quite delightful, because otherwise it gets a little bit hot. But it's been really nice just having something small to work on. So the next thing that I've put a bit of time into, not that it actually looks like it, we watched season 2 of the Umbrella Academy. We watched season 1 again because neither of us could remember what happened, because apparently we've got memory like Sophie, our goldfish, and who I need to clean out today actually, but that's not a conversation for right now. And this whole reconnecting thing is really getting on my wick. I'm really sorry if the quality is terrible. I'm not even on Wi-Fi anymore, so I can't even blame that. I don't know what it is. So I've been working on my All About That Brioche shawl, which is by Lisa Hanners. This is knit out of Dragon Horde yarn in her Come Alive colour, which is now a retired colour, sadly. I was down here last week when you saw it. This is one of my stitch markers, a tiny dragon. And yeah, I've put a bit of chunk in. I seem to remember that this was it's always when I start doing a live or podcasting or something and I'm talking a lot. And apparently that makes my nose run. I should have had some tissues at the ready. I was not prepared. So, yes. Yeah, I seem to remember that All About that Brioche shawl being much more mindless than it is. It's not that it's not mindless, it's that on every 6th row you have to increase by 1 extra stitch. So it means that I have to, someone's here at 5:30 in the morning. Two people are here at 5:30 in the morning. Oh my goodness, you're mental. Not actually, but you're mad for being here. Although saying that, I'm pretty sure that's the time Maria left for work. I can't remember. I tried to get up early this morning. I had an alarm set for 6, 6:15 and 6:30, and I put it on snooze, so it went off every 5 minutes. And I still got up at 8:30, so, no, not 8:30, 8 o'clock. So that's still 2 hours after I ideally wanted to. So, yeah, this week was much more mindless in my brain than it actually is, because I have to keep count every 6 rows. So what I've been doing is, every day that I think about it, I try and do 2 repeats, so 12 rows, which doesn't sound like much, but you know, it adds up, you know, bit by bit. And yeah, this is on her Law base, I think that's what she's called it, which is an 85/15 superwash merino and nylon. And then I'm also using, for the contrast, it will be Yarn Cafe Creations, the same base, but she calls it something else, but it's not written on the label, so I don't know, in her Gothic colourway, which is this gorgeous purple. LIIIIIVE is here early. They start at 6 a.m. God, that's awful. Why are they starting so early? Is it hot where you are as well? Yeah, the reason... So my Come Alive is actually just hand wound into a ball because it broke. This is living in my the Little Grey Girl wizard bag, my wizard sleeve bag. We won't get into that. That colour coordinates beautifully with the yarn, and I got them both at EYF, so I love it. I love it. So while we're on the topic, oh my god, when I'm live, I'm way more efficient than when I'm filming myself. When I'm filming myself, I chat rubbish for ages, but when I'm live, I'm like, boo, boo, boo. I don't know what's wrong with me. So, living in my other The Little Grey Girl project bag, which is donuts, and I have my Secret Cat Shop Jester Lavore pin, because she likes donuts. She's a character from Critical Role, if you're interested, which, if you want to know more info about Critical Role, just ask. I have my Telegram cardigan. I don't have enough moisture in my mouth to be able to say words. I just slurped my tea. I'm so sorry. That's a terrible habit. Okay, my Telegram cardigan. See, things like that I would usually cut out. I don't usually... Yes, Nitrovert. Love it. Yes. My Telegram cardigan. I'm still slogging away. I was where the teacup is. Anna, who is in the chat right now, hopefully, I mean, she's currently working as well, so she might not be, made this tiny teacup back in her polymer clay days, and I had it as a necklace. And so I then wasn't wearing it as a necklace anymore, and so thought, instead of it not getting used, why not convert it to a stitch marker? So I did, because I obviously have loads of these clippy things because I make stitch markers and I buy them in bulk excessively. So yeah, I love this little teacup with the little lemon wedges in. So the Telegram cardigan is a pattern by Becky Sorensen. Beautiful. Yay, Anna's still here. Okay, good. I'm glad that you're able to multitask. It's beautiful textured cardigan with like broken rib, I think that's what it's called. And then this gorgeous cable down the side, which I'm not showing off to its full potential. Cable. Ooh, fun. So I tried it on and made sure it landed where I thought I wanted it to. I'm now onto the bottom rib section, which is I think like 2 inches, no more than that, of rib. I can't remember. So I had to go down the needle size as per the pattern. And what's fun is you offset the rib that you've been doing for the rest of it, so it looks like its own little bit, which is cool. I like it. So I'm on the bottom rib. The pattern calls for a tubular bind cast off. Ooh, I almost went American there. Tubular cast off. And I mean, I didn't actually, because this accent can't do any other accent other than the one that I have. Although when I'm drunk, I do try to do Australian, but I'm not going to try that right now. It sounds more like a cross between New Zealand, Australian, and South African, but like none of them. It's really fun. So yeah, tubular cast off. Never done one of those before. The only thing I know about it is it's very time consuming, but I'm excited to learn. And then yeah, I have to pick up the button band, I believe is the next part, which is never fun. But as per my mother's instructions, if you divide up the stitch, if you kind of like find the halfway point, find the quarter point, find the eighth point, put a stitch marker at each one, and then divide the amount of stitches that you need to pick up, you know that in each eighth you need to pick up X amount of stitches. So you don't get to the end and think, my God, I have so many stitches to pick up, or I've picked up way too many. That's just my mother's suggestion. The mother of craft. Some people can make their like business names into like really cute, fun names, like Mr. blah blah blah, but Mr. the Corner of Craft doesn't work. I just didn't do a very good job choosing my business name 7 years ago, let's be honest. It was only going to be a temporary one until I thought of something better. If you watch how I started my career and you seem to like it, so I'm really pleased. The next video should be coming next week, and then yeah, they should be every fortnight with a podcast in between. Hopefully that's okay. If it's not, tough, that's what I'm doing. It's my schedule. Yeah, so that's what my mum suggests, like breaking it up into like quarters or however many, and putting a stitch marker at each point. Luckily I have loads, and I just bought some more. Kitty husband, kitty kids. See, it works so well. The husband of craft just makes it sound like such a grandiose title. The children of craft. So unless I just call him chromatic husband, also doesn't work. I just didn't do a great name choosing my business name in order to apply other people to it. I did a great job at choosing a name that was so perfectly generic it meant that I could throw other things in the mix. I forgot to talk about the fact that I tried to make and sell dice bags. Can't believe that that was a part of my life that I just completely forgot about. The Children of Craft sounds awesome. Yeah, that's fair. It makes them sound so like grandiose. But yes, it's happening. I'm working on it. Sounds like a degree. I know, right? I'm really enjoying it. But once again, you kind of have to wear the cardigan to knit it. The Children of Craft sounds like a knitting-related horror film. Yes, Meg. Yes, it 100% does. You're not wrong. It's like Children of the Corn. Is that a thing? I don't watch horror films. I bet I just sounded the most ignorant thing ever. So you see, the problem with live is I could go back and edit it afterwards, but where's the fun? But I say stupid stuff and then I can't cut it out, especially to however many of you are watching right now. Funny. So, yes. I love the idea of the Children of Craft. I'd definitely be a child. Maybe that's what I should call my customers. Oh, no. That makes it sound like I'm starting a cult. I already made it sound like I was starting a Granny Square cult before I changed it to a party. Oh, that's so funny. The Children of the Craft sounds like something witchy. It does. It does. Craft children. Even that doesn't sound great. I join your cult. Hello from Australia. Oh, hi, Melissa. Yeah, I'm not in the business of starting a cult. They don't tend to end well. Also does mean we would be cocks. Fair. COC. Yep, I'll take that. Children of Craft. She has her patterns both on and off of Ravelry, because obviously Ravelry is a bit of a show right now. I've joined a cult and I was there for Granny Squares. Oh, Amy, I'm so pleased. I'm sorry I didn't time it well enough to be at 11. I'm a bit early. I do apologise. I said I'd try my best to be at 11, but I have 70 odd packages to package and take to the post office, as well as yarn to skein and label. So I thought I'd get this done early. It's not that early. I was planning to be live by 9, but that didn't happen. 10:30's not bad. What a result. Some bloody awesome crafty things. Yeah, you're not wrong. A crafty cult. There are worse things in the world. There's not. Cults are not good. Don't join one. So, I actually cast on something new. Oh, why do I put all my whips on the floor? I cast on something new. How exciting. It's not that exciting. It's a sock. It's not exciting. The yarn is awesome. So, this is Fab Funky Fibres in their Tiger King colourway. And I really kind of want to like start a forum on my website, but don't know if there's any way to do it, because that would be cool, starting like a forum on my website. Unless we just do a Facebook group. We could do a Facebook group, so I actually chat to people more and get like, we can have like the Children of Craft community. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I just threw that idea out there. I hadn't thought about it. Think before you speak, Hannah. I'm starting to get a bit sweaty. It's getting hot in this room. So, yes, Tiger King colour. Ooh, fun. With one of my new stitch markers from Yarnistry. I will be showing the rest of them in a hot second. But you can't see what this is. It's a malted milk biscuit. I think there are paid options on Shopify forums. Helen, do you know if they're like extortionately expensive or if I can afford it? I mean, you don't know my finances. I don't know why I asked you if you think I could afford it. Anyway. Oh, I've got the same yarn. Nice. So I have knit all of this since Sunday. When did we play D&D? Sunday. I cast it on at the beginning. Because I'm doing Hello My Children is a very epic greeting. It is. It's pretty cool. I don't want to have ideas above my station though, Anna. Let's be real. I know that I'm a, clearly a godlike figure. I'm not at all. That's 100% not serious. So, yes. I'm using 2.5mm needles and 60 stitches, so I'm storming through them. I'm using new needles. They're higher sharp still, but for some reason I've managed to bend this one just by using it. So now this one is slightly on the wonk. So it's like a smiley face. Can you even tell? Yes, kind of. It's like, whoop. You see, I now want to rename this podcast as the one where I accidentally started a cult. But we won't bother. We'll stick with the live one. So yes, Fab Funky Fibres, and then I'm using a mini skein that I've just got that I dyed up. I've told you before that when dyeing yarn, you have to wait for all of the dye in the water to go, and sometimes dye takes forever to soak up. So you just throw in a mini skein to soak up the extra, because I'm impatient AF and I don't have time to spend hours waiting for yarn to exhaust when I have limited space and pots. So I've got things like this hanging around in various colours. I've got lots of blue ones apparently, but I had this beautiful turquoise that actually goes quite well. So I'm going to pop my heel in here, I think, and then yeah, I'm on the foot. I'm trying to figure out, I suppose I could look at this one, figure out how much more foot I need to do. Okay, quite a bit. I was trying to work out if all I needed to do was one more stripe, because it's going to be really annoying if I have to do a turquoise stripe and then a turquoise toe, because there's just going to be a lot of turquoise at the end. So it might just be me. So we'll see. But yeah, ta-da, da-da-da-da. It's very sweet. I really like it. Fab Funky Fibres. They don't do a whole lot of updates, but the updates they do are massive, and they specialise in self-stripings. So you've got, this is just another one I've got called Cadbury. in 50 grams skeins, and I mean this one I bought for £13, but I think this one was maybe 16, but it's cheaper than buying 100 grams and then only using some of it. So if you can get away with using, I have size 6 feet, so if you can get away with using half of it, then that's amazing. What? That wasn't a sentence. You can get away with using 50 grams. It's a great way to save money and not have a load of leftovers going to waste, I think is what I meant to say, but I didn't actually say those words. Okay. I only have one stash enhancement. I'm going to keep this down here because it's got my address on it and I don't really want that all over the internet. So, why won't you open? Please open. So I showed you the malted milk, but from Yarnistry, who make beautiful stitch markers. Although I don't know how I feel about the bulb pins. I like the bulb pins using standalone just as a bulb pin. I don't know how I feel about the bulb pin with stitch markers sit well on my projects. That might just be me. So I might switch them over, but we shall see. Biscuit stitch markers. So we've got a party ring, a pink wafer, jammy dodger, a nice biscuit. Whoever likes nice biscuits, you're wrong. I'm really sorry. A custard cream, which is the most superior biscuit in the world. You've got a digestive biscuit and a bourbon biscuit. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. The party ring is super cute. Boop. And yes, like I said, the custard cream biscuit is the far superior biscuit. So, so yeah, this is from Yarnistry. They are yarnistryshop.co.uk. It's like, I always change out the bulb pins for lever clasps. Yeah, I just feel like I find they sit nicer on my knitting. I've switched out some of the stitch markers I've got from them before. The unicorns that I've got, I do use on the bulb pins. I put a jump ring through so it would be a bit more flexible, but I think I might just before lockdown, and then I was very short on them and almost ran out, and it was touch and go, which is why I got some gold ones, because I'm fussy and I really like the clasps that I use because they look different to the clasps that other people use, because I'm an arse. But yes, Yarnistry shop, yarn istry shop.co.uk is where you can find all of her gorgeous stitch markers. And she doesn't just have biscuit ones, she's got all sorts. She's got more than just biscuit ones. Oh, I'm really late with things. Anna's birthday's in July. I'm very late with things, so I found it yesterday and it's getting posted here, and then I'm going to be sending it on because I have to find the perfect thing for you. I can't just send you any old thing because where's the fun in that? So that's actually everything I have to show you. How did I manage to get through that in 35 minutes? I don't know, when my podcasts are usually about an hour. It's because I know I have a lot to do today. So, does anyone have any questions? Does anyone want to chat for a bit? Just thought we could do a little Q&A, we could just do a little casual chat at the end. What have I been up to? I told you at the beginning that we went to a restaurant. I've said about the first video in the creative business series that's gone down well. I'm glad that you liked it. Just been working a lot, as in Maria's been working a lot. I've been bead weaving a lot and thinking about how I need to definitely dye more yarn. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just planning the next shop update, really. Thank you to everyone who helped me out for stitch markers that you want. Have the neighbours been calling it on the renovations? Yeah, I think they might be done. There's actually people living there now, which is amazing because there weren't people living there when all the renovations were going on, but somebody is now living next door. It's still a mess in their garden. I don't know if they're just temporarily living there or what's happening, but it seems to have gone much quieter next door, which is quite the relief, because that would have been really annoying. How long have you been campaigning with your current D&D crowd? We have been in so long, but we've had people leave, people come in. We've had a couple of breaks. We've tried new characters, blah blah blah. So the current party isn't too long. I can't remember when everyone came in. It was last year. It was pre-wedding, I think. But yeah, people, they finish a story arc and then they get a new character and such. I love photograms. Do you plan on doing them? Yes. For those who don't know, we are currently hopefully going through the process of potentially maybe buying a house, but nothing's been finalised yet, obviously. And everything's up in the air and a bit in limbo. So I'm very frustrated because I want to buy things to sell, because that's what I do. I buy things to sell. And because I don't want to move a lot of things, I'm holding off on a lot of the plans that I have. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Goal for next week is to dye up a ton more advents. Advents have all sold out now. Thank you so much for everyone who got them. It was mad that last update sold so quickly. It's ridiculous. And yes, thank you. Anna asked if I've ever used t-shirt yarn before. No. I've heard good things about it. I don't have anything against it. I just haven't used it myself before. You need quite a chunky crochet hook as far as I'm aware. Anna crochets, she doesn't knit, which is why I said that. Has anyone else used t-shirt yarn before who would be able to offer some insight into t-shirt yarn? Tea. Oh, I'm sorry, I just covered up the camera completely. Ugh, that was awful. No questions, I just want to say I really enjoy your podcast. Oh, thanks, Pamela. Yes, international postage was expensive, but that's because I'm sending it all tracked. Fun fact, postage is going up for international customers from September the 1st. This is the third increase of the year. I waited because I thought that that would be the final increase of the year. And yeah, turns out it's not. Thanks, COVID. So, yeah, I should have charged more postage. That's my fault for charging the bare minimum. Yes, bloody raw mail, but also it's because there's fewer passenger planes going, so they're having to put on extra flights, which costs money. Process buying a house in the UK, so good luck. Keep very busy on your lives. I will do not worry. Heard of ribbon t-shirt yarn is good for crochet baskets. Yeah, 100%. I've heard that too. Oh, don't worry, Jay. I didn't take it as shade. I love that expression. I didn't take it. There's reasons I don't buy yarn from the US, and it's 100% postage. We won't chat about USPS right now because it's not in a good place. But yeah, I don't buy from the States because of postage and customs, because customs is 20% of what you pay plus £8 handling, and then when you've paid so much postage, yeah. I've bought yarn once from the US, and it was the Tits Out Collective from Dragon Horde Yarn, or Tristan, and I paid double what the skein of yarn was. So I got the skein of yarn and then paid that again in postage and customs. And she was so kind as to send me a skein along with it. I think she sent me this one, which was so pretty, as like a little freebie, which did cushion the blow a little bit, but I essentially paid for 2 skeins of yarn from her. Yeah, it really sucks because I really want to support my friends in the US, but I cannot justify the postage all the time. I completely understand. It's one of those really frustrating things, but yes, I need to work out all of the I need to work out all of the new postage costs that are going to be coming. Oh, my hair, what did I just do? Because it's no fun. I also need to re-dye my hair at some point because it's going a really gross colour. Right, I'm chatting. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Hopefully it somewhat is enjoyable. And if you did like it, feel free to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe. I post a new podcast every fortnight, and in the weeks in between I'm going to be posting about small businesses and creative businesses and some tips that I've picked up in the 7 years that I've owned the Corner of Craft and how I've kind of got to being full-time. If you'd like to follow me on social media, links can all be found in the description box below this video, along with a link to my coffee account, some money my way through coffee, very much appreciated. But I had some people reach out and ask if there's any way to support me and the podcast without buying yarn and stitch markers, because I get it, not everyone wants or needs them. So I set up a coffee account for those people. No obligation, obviously, but if you did want to, that link is down there as well. I will go and write podcast notes shortly. And yeah, I can't think of anything else that I usually say at the end of the video. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Links are all down there. And yes, thank you so much for watching. If you've just joined me at the end, there'll be a replay in a few minutes, I'm sure. And yes, I will see you all very soon next week for my 10 things I wish I knew before starting a creative business. I need to think of a catchier title for that, because I have not thought of a catchy title for that. That's a really long-winded title, but that's the one we're sticking with. So that's next week. 10 things I wish I knew before starting my creative business. Fun. Cool. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in next week's video. Have a lovely day, everyone. Bye.